Nebraska too, but to show your support for a woman, for a great person who's going to represent you in the United States Senate, and that's Joni Ernst. Thank you for coming out tonight. Thank you, Governor Orr, for that wonderful introduction. Kay Orr is a conservative hero. I don't know how many of you know her story, but she is a fighter. She is tough. She stood up in Nebraska and carried us through some tough times. She did it, and she kept her values, she kept her principles. So thank you for that kind introduction, Governor Orr. And I think she told you everything about me. I did marry a rancher. I did serve my community. In many ways, Joni and I have a similar story. You know, you could maybe say I was a community organizer, but not exactly. So my resume is probably going to be dinged on that a little bit in the future. But you know, I wanted to give back to my community. I wanted to give back to my state. And that's why you're all here too. Because your communities, your state, this country is important to you. You have stepped forward, you work hard, you're involved in this process because you know that we need to restore America. These last 5.5 years, it's been a trial, hasn't it? You know, we've seen an economy that's struggling. We've seen an economy that's sluggish because of policies that, hey, we know they do not work. We need to change that. We have to change that. We've heard those promises being made. We've heard those promises broken. We can all say it. You know, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. If you like your insurance, you can keep it, period. If you like your hospital, you can keep your hospital. I'm going to draw a red line in the sand and nobody's going to cross it. On and on and on and on, folks. It's got to stop. It's got to stop, and we've got to restore America. The 20th century was the American century. You know, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they defeated the Kaiser. They made it through the Great Depression. They beat Hitler. We tore down the Iron Curtain, the Berlin Wall. We're innovators, we're entrepreneurs. We built this country. We are proud of our country. Well, now we're in the 21st century. And I think it's up for grabs. And I think it's Putin who's grabbing it. We're looking at a leadership vacuum. We're looking at that vacuum because we have an administration that hasn't stepped up. The world's become a more dangerous place. That's not what we want. That's not what we want for our kids and our grandkids. That's why you're here. So we can move forward. So we can move forward with those conservative values that we have, those principles, the principle of free markets and free men, a doctrine of peace through strength, a belief in strong families and strong communities. Those are conservative values. Those are our values. Those are American values, and we can promote those. Joni Ernst has those values, and she will help me in the United States Senate to promote those values, to promote those principles and those strengths that we have as a country. She will help to restore America. That's who she is. You all know her. That's why you're here. I urge you to work hard for her. You know, I ran in the general election against Bob Kerrey. And I'm just so thankful that I had people like you that were there working hard for me as well. I had She-PAC. They had my back. and they came out early for me. And you know what? We crushed Bob Kerrey. You know, these values that all Americans share these values. Those are the same values that Governor Sarah Palin stands up for. She stands up for them every day. She is a patriot. She is a defender of freedom. She is a friend. She is a confidant, and you don't mess with her. I am so very, very honored, and it is my pleasure to introduce to you today Governor Sarah Palin.